On a damp night in South Florida, Miami's faint playoff hopes are at risk of being blown away to see if they can't get a positive result. Standing in their way tonight is the Eastern Conference champs from a year ago, Rhode Island FC, a team hanging on by a thread just above the playoff line. Greetings to all with Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm David Gascon. Ricky, Eastern Conference standings top to bottom sees Miami in the 12th position. It does not paint a pleasant picture, and they're in some trouble.
For Miami FC, it's go time. They need results, and they need results quickly. 4 losses and 1 draw in their last 5 for Gaston Madoni. He's just looking for someone to shoulder that responsibility, but it's not going to be easy against a Rhode Island side that's coming off a win against Indy 11. They're going to be confident here tonight.
Miami's last victory was back on June the 18th against Charleston Battery. Since then, the well has run dry.
Miami FC is just looking for consistency. They're looking for players to stand up and really shoulder that responsibility defensively. They need to do a better job at staying compact. They need to do a better job at winning their individual defending opportunities, especially within their box set. And on the ball, they're looking for players to have that composure, to have clinical ability in that final third, and really take that responsibility and be that game changer that Gaston Madoni has on his roster.
If Miami has any thoughts of capturing 3 points here tonight, their best players need to step up. For them, forward Francisco Bonfilio has done that night in and night out. He leads the team with 13 goals in the year. He's shouldered more than enough for this team.
Francisco Bonfilio can do a little bit of everything, whether it is dropping underneath and being part of the build-out phase, but we've seen him really take that next step in between the box and really having the ability to find the back of the net. He's going to be massive here for Miami FC.
Rhode Island FC this season has locked things down defensively. That's been their trademark. The inability to score, though, has been a problem this year. How can they get off on the right note?
I think if you are Connor Smith, you're looking for players that are going to stand up again and give them the confidence, because this side does have talent. You look at Albertico, Noah Fuson, Joe Brito, players that can produce that little bit of individual brilliance, but now you need them to be fluid and you need them to work together. We need that results to turn into productivity, to turn into results for Rhode Island.
The defense is there for Rhode Island. The offense is not, but for J.J. Williams hasn't been a spark for them this year. He leads the team in goals, but he does need some help too.
J.J. Williams is a nightmare to defend. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, but has very soft feet that he can really combine and be part of the build-up phase. J.J. Williams needs service in around that 18-yard box, and that is going to be a massive talking point for Connell Smith, especially on the road, to get another big 3 points.
Miami FC is winless in their last 11 USL Championship games, trying to change the tide here tonight. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you the starting 11 and first touch. It's Miami FC, Rhode Island FC coming at you next.
Some people think Miami is just flamingos and palm trees.
And hell yes, we have badass sunsets.
But Miami's Little Havana,
Doral,
Little Haiti,
Hialeah,
Wynwood, Coconut Grove,
Kendall,
Calle Ocho,
Sweetwater,
Homestead,
cortaditos y coladas
empanadas y croquetas.
is so much more. This is the 305.
This is who we really are. This is what we are all about.
I am Latino.
I'm a disruptor.
I am LGBTQ.
I am a villain.
I am a mother.
I am Haitian.
I am an athlete.
I am an activist.
I am a king.
I am American Dream.
I am the future.
I am
Miami FC.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. Bon Bon Boom, suck at something. Macron, become your own hero. And Baptist Health. Live here at FIU Soccer Stadium. The formation tonight for Miami FC, a 3-4-3. Everything going on tonight, Ricky, for Miami. Tulu's in the middle of the park tonight, gets his first start of the year for Miami.
Coming back from injury, so it's going to be really important for Tulu to play himself into this game, connecting his first pass. Knudsen and Danko need to be really good at understanding next to him, need to stay compact to keep everything in front of them. And doing that, that will give this Miami side a foundation, because on the other side for Rhode Island, a 3-4-3 for Connell Smith, everything that they want to do is going to be that front three. Fuson, Williams, and Brito. Williams will stay as high as he possibly can, giving Noah Fuson the ability to occupy the space in between lines. Joe Brito had the freedom to go and search.
Man, this team this year, Coque Vegas, he's gotten pretty much wire to wire with them. 6-6-4 record. The goals against average is stellar. It's minuscule, a .87 on the year. He's had a tremendous year for Rhode Island as this match is underway. Miami FC in their road kits, the blue and the black. Rhode Island FC in their traveling white tops and also the white bottoms. Christian Vasquez with the early spirit on Alejandro Madrano up front as well. Now with the configuration changes, Gaston Madoni, the head coach of Miami FC, told us probably around June, July that Tulu was expected to come back against Hartford Athletic. He did not do so, but at this point in the year, you know Gaston Madoni wants to push it with Tulu. Even with an injured hamstring, he needs all hands on deck.
Now, Tulu is a fantastic addition to the lineup for this Miami FC. He's a front foot defender, meaning he's going to step into that middle third, be really aggressive at just trying to win his individual duels. But with the type of injury that he instilled, he needs to be very smart and not overextending himself and playing himself into this game, because there's fitness, but there's also game fitness that are two completely different things.
How long does it take you to get yourself into game shape?
Game shape?
Game shape.
You're talking about maybe 2 games, but when you're talking about game sharpness, that's a completely different conversation. You have to understand the spaces, how quickly can you get on the ball, your decision making, all that comes with real game time experience.
Pretty good deep possession right there, Dalton Knutson. Knutson and Miami FC trying to snap an 11-game winless streak in USL Championship action. Here's Tulu now. Nick Campisi in between the pipes for Miami FC. Picked up a clean sheet last week when they played to a scoreless draw against Las Vegas. That game didn't have a lot of theatrics in it, but Miami at least got itself a point in that affair. But a moment now, take a look at our keys to tonight's matchup, Ricky.
For Miami, you need to get Sebastian Blanco in a rhythm. When he is on the field, he can be an MVP type of caliber player for Miami FC, so getting him in tempo will be really important. While Rhode Island, especially with their 3-4-3, trying to create overloads on wide parts of the field, that will give them the success going forward.
Miami only picking up a couple clean sheets on the year. One of them was at Rhode Island. It was a 1-0 victory. That game was the first appearance for Bill Hamid, who's now with Tampa Bay, to pick up a clean sheet. Matias Romero. Configuration changing just a little bit tonight for Gaston Madoni. Danko and Ricketts, Knutson, all amongst the regulars, but Tulu and Romero. Francisco Bonfilio, of course, and Christian Vasquez, along with Alejandro Madrano. Good run outside. Vasquez tapering it off. This is not a well-timed ball, and it goes whale wide of the target from Vegas. Miami looking at their position tonight in USL Championship, and it's a tough road to travel, literally and figuratively speaking, because they do not have a fruitful end to this year. They're looking at USL Championship standings in Eastern Conference. Miami, even if they pick up 3 points tonight, doesn't put them above the playoff line. It does allow them, though, to capture the series victory against Rhode Island. They'd have the 2 victories in 2 matches. Even if they played to a draw, they'd be 1 up and 1 across on a draw. So they'd hold a tiebreaker against Rhode Island if these 2 teams do match up as the ace spot in the Eastern Conference. But they have teams like Indy, Tampa Bay, and Birmingham all ahead of them, does Miami. So not only do they have work in front of them, but they also do some scoreboard watching as well.
That's a massive 3 points up for grabs for Miami FC, sitting at the bottom of the Eastern Conference table. You and I had the ability to speak with Gaston Madoni a couple weeks back, and he was saying there's just no more time for excuses. We need results, and we need results quickly, especially here at home against a Rhode Island side that on the road, only 3 wins, 7 losses, and 1 draw. Big opportunity for 3 points for either one of these clubs.
J.J. Williams on the year, 3 goals in 13 matches for Rhode Island. To your point, Ricky, the other daunting task for Miami is they have not been a good road team historically. After tonight's affair, 4 of the next 5 are on the road. That includes 3 straight.
That makes this 3 points, this home game, so much more important for Gaston Madoni and this side. We're starting to see a little bit of things tactically different, shifting into a 3-back system, just playing like for like with Rhode Island. Romero sit at the base of that midfield, allowing Vasquez to go a little bit higher and trying to play in between lines underneath Blanco and Milano.
Pitch conditions tonight a little bit different than we're used to at Pitbull Stadium. We're playing on the college soccer pitch tonight for FIU. Going between the turf and the grass, how big of a difference is that for players as we look at this one played through for Milano. Milano out wide. This one didn't have anyone around as Matrano gathering it though. This will be a throw-in for Miami.
Good action from Lucas Milano to make his run out of midfield really difficult to track. But as he bypasses that last line of Rhode Island, you need a secondary movement. Alejandro Matrano needs to crash towards that far post. And so does Bonfilio.
Top of the box, Bonfilio almost found it with some separation. Good contact there. Top of the box, this drive never had a chance. It sails over by Romero. And then while we have a moment, this portion of the broadcast brought to you by Doral Kia.
Doral Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
7th min. Only show in town tonight for USL Championship. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for Miami FC?
Good thing, more eyes.
Yeah?
Good thing for you and I as well, more listeners. Every time you're on the broadcast, that's pull people in to listen to the David Gascon.
Yeah. Well, last time we were on the air together, we were celebrating your aunt's birthday together. We got to sing her happy birthday and say hello to her. Do you have any other family members that are celebrating their birthday tonight?
Not that I'm aware of.
Happy anniversary to your parents?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right,
not today.
All right, all right. All good, all good.
You?
No, I don't know anybody that's celebrating anything right now.
Okay.
Just happy to be alive here in South Florida.
Celebrating life.
That's right. It was raining a little bit earlier. It's cleared up. Mother Nature's been a bit unkind over the last couple weeks in South Florida. Natural, though, with hurricane season. Rhode Island making the trek down from the northeast, about 2.5 hour, 2 hour and 40-minute flight down to Miami. Miami FC trying not only to get themselves on the board, but to do so against a pretty stingy Rhode Island side. Cano Smith, the head coach of Rhode Island, has played and praised their defensive prowess. He said throughout the year, though, their biggest troubling spot was attacking on set pieces. They don't have the precision that he'd like to have compared to last year, but he feels like defensively they're pretty locked in.
Just so much talent on this Rhode Island side. Now the challenge for Cano Smith is trying to find consistency within the performances, especially only finding the back of the net 17 times. Not good enough for a team that went to the USL Championship final last year, having a really difficult time getting into rhythm in that final third, and doing that. Now you're just trying to instill some confidence with your attacking players.
Possession going back to Rhode Island. Rhode Island after tonight's affair will be at El Paso. It's not a difficult schedule in front of them, but they have some decent opponents that they get beat up on. After El Paso, they'll take on Las Vegas at home, followed by Tampa Bay, and then they go to North Carolina and New Mexico. So not a murderer's row of opponents, but if you are Cano Smith, you feel pretty good about not only getting 3 points here tonight, but you can go on quite a run to propel yourself into that middle of the pack of the Eastern Conference standings, or at the very least, give yourself some bona fide momentum like you did last year.
We saw exactly what happened last year when this Rhode Island side caught fire. Went to really difficult places to play, specifically Lynn Family Stadium in Lou City. Ultimately losing at the switchbacks, but having the ability to win the Eastern Conference in the playoffs. This team has experience, they have quality. Again, just looking for consistency on and off the ball this season.
Yeah, they have 10 clean sheets on the year, but remarkable, as you mentioned. Ricky, last year's team was just waddling around the middle of the pack, not picking up victories, but not having losses. It was just draw after draw after draw, and then all of a sudden, something clicked for Cano Smith and his troops. They did not look back. Impressive for an expansion side. As they enter here into the 18, Danko will head this away. Early moments for Rhode Island. No real pressure from either side just yet.
Rhode Island's doing a really good job on the left side of the field, whether it is Quizera or Fuson. One playing a little bit more central, the other one providing the width. And that's exactly what Cano Smith would want coming into this game, to create overloads on the wide parts of the field and trying to isolate their attacking players.
With the amount of quality that they do have, where do you feel like the biggest Achilles heel is for them offensively right now?
Has to be the front two, whether it is J.J. Williams or Albert Deco. If you can get those two in rhythm, playing at a very high level, a double striking pair can be the most potent attacking players in all of USL Championship.
Sebastian Blanco, who's been hampered with injuries throughout this year, does make the return. Will be a focal point not only for Rhode Island, but that man right there, Gaston Madoni, to get Francisco Bonfilio touches. His work rate has been so high for Miami. He scored just about any which way he could. 13 goals hasn't been enough for this side. They've scored 22 as a team. Problem for them, no complementary pieces to get the damage done too. Brito against Matrano. Alejandro trying to force him away. Holstad trying to grab the corner, the top of the box. Vasquez nearly had it. Rhode Island heavy on possession so far. Holstad, the crossing attempt. Tula with fine positioning there, and that ball goes endlessly out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick.
It's a really good ball in from Clay Holstad. The amount of air underneath it, the shape on it, giving J.J. Williams the ability to read the flight. Does a good job at attacking it, come to the inside of Tulu, unable to get real clean contact. But that is the luxury of having a player like J.J. Williams that is just so dominant in the air.
Rhode Island, a different beast at home than they are on the road. Just about 500 at home this year with 4 victories and 4 losses. Peculiar thing, though, with what they've been involved with is, you look at the last 3 games that they've been a part of. 2 victories, 1-0, and also a 1-0 defeat to Lou City. And Lou City is obviously a benchmark opponent for anyone to compete against. Lou City, the cream of the crop in the Eastern Conference, followed by Charleston. Out west, a little debatable on who you think is the top dog. Tulsa FC is amongst those clubs, being at the top of the ladder. Fuson couldn't settle it, but Rhode Island still holding possession. Williams up front asking for it. Bad delivery somehow found Williams. Williams the right-hand side. Holstad here.
Just a little bit off and for Rhode Island in terms of their technical ability.
Crossing attempt, nice play by Matrano.
Not able to find their intended target versus Zach Harreville, almost loses his footing. And then the ball from J.J. Williams forces Clay Holstad to go wide and recirculate. Especially when you try to bait out Miami FC and bypass that initial line of pressure, you need to go quick and you need to be clean in the final third.
Rhode Island this year, great on set pieces when defending, but not so much on the attacking side. That's according to their head coach, Cano Smith. not only a lack of creativity, but also just execution. Quezera here on the corner. Quezera, short corner, that one on the goal line. Campisi was not even ready for it. Matias Romero was certainly there. Ball flicking around. J.J. Williams with some space. Quezera holding it for a moment. Rhode Island trying to keep the pressure on. Quezera apparently stayed onside, and there's Campisi to gobble it up. Well, Matias Romero last week stopped a couple of goals against Las Vegas. He's back to his same old tricks here tonight.
Good action for Rhode Island, just keeping this play alive and giving Quezera a second bite at the apple, unable to really test Campisi, the goalkeeper for Miami. But Miami in that last instance needs to do a better job at just clearing their lines. Once you do get the ability to put it out of danger, you need to take it.
Further reminder, the USL on the CBS Sports Network continues in September with the championship Eastern Conference rivals battling to stay in the playoff hunt. Indy 11 takes on Birmingham Legion FC Sunday, September 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Bad ball for Williams, goes right back to Campisi.
Another perfect example of Joe Brito needs to be a little bit cleaner. Does a good job at finding that spot in between lines, and then you have Noah Fuson making a really good run on the wide parts of the field, just overhits it into J.J. Williams.
Foul here. Blanco does not like the ruling on it. When does he ever? Christian Hernandez, our lead official tonight. Williams, top of the box, now near the 6. That crossing attempt was a valiant effort to get to him. Tulu able to disrupt it.
"16 minutes in, Tulu's done a really good job in terms of his positioning. Comfortable on the ball. Notice left side of your screen how he just comes back and shades that top of the 6-yard box. Flawless positioning from the center back of Miami.
Fuson will take this corner. Fuson, nice chip with some bending action on it. Pretty good contact. Latrano is going to have it. Back to your point, Ricky, a good position there again by Tulu.
Just the experience and the quality of Tulu on display. A play that Miami FC missed immensely. Alejandro Machado at the last second doing a good job at winning the body position between him and Frank Nadarce.
When you sustain a hamstring injury like Tulu did, how long does it take for you to get over the injury? Because that's a mental game as much as it is physical.
That's the difficult part, the mental side of it, right? Having the ability to trust your hamstring, especially when you try to go for a sprint, when you try to go in for a challenge like you normally will. Whether it is muscle injuries, ligament injuries, the list goes on and on. Yes, physically you're back, but the mental side of it, that is what takes players a longer time to get back into their full rhythm. And I had the unfortunate opportunity to do my ACL, MCL meniscus, was back in about 6-7 months, but fully back in terms of feeling myself, feeling to be the player that I was. You're looking over 13 months.
Oh. I mean, the rehab is killer in itself, let alone the surgery. But then the weight training, the cardiovascular conditioning, and then allowing yourself to get off, that's a whole other beast. Knudsen here. Danko. Danko making his 7th appearance of the year, 6 starts. And newly acquired members for Miami FC and Gaston Madoni. Sebastian Blanco has gone wire to wire for Miami this year. It's one of the bigger acquisitions during the offseason for Gaston Madoni. Hasn't left a major imprint offensively. But great leadership, excellent poise, and one of the highly spoken leaders on the pitch for Miami. Blanco with the right idea. Bonfilio does get to this ball, but well out of positioning. Romero Knudsen. Knudsen softly layered through. Matrano the cross. Real idea for that ball.
The best positioning of Sebastian Blanco needs to be better for Miami FC. Notice how deep he's sitting.
Vasquez. Ricketts, right back to him. Vasquez, Milano the header, blocked in the way through.
That Sebastian Blanco is sitting so deep, there is just no pocket presence underneath Bonfilio and Lucas Milano. That is why every single time those two players get on the ball, almost seem like they're on an island. Sebastian Blanco is a player that can find that final pass, so you need him in between the lines, higher up the pitch.
20th minute. Miami does not have a shot on goal yet. Miami won earlier this year against Rhode Island, a 1-0 victory. A different time, a different team. And for head coach Gaston Madone, he wants to get his boys back into that shape. Sebastian Blanco was the lone difference maker in that contest. Scored his goal for Miami FC beginning of the second half, and then Bill Hamid and company held up things defensively. That game, Rhode Island had 13 shots, nothing to show for it. Bonfilio, massive humanity coming at him. Double, triple teamed. Ricketts running out of real estate. That high marker almost found Matrano. Coque Vegas elevated for it, but miffed on it.
A really good ball in from Jonathan Ricketts. Catches Coque Vegas out of his line. That's a nice little pocket of space here.
Good ball from Bonfilio. Knudsen, right back, no.
That's when you need better recognition from Lucas Milano. Bonfilio drops in and plays in terms of the build-out phase. Now you do not have a presence centrally. The responsibility from the weak-sided number 9 is when your second striker drops in, you need to slash across that near post. Just not good enough in terms of the mobility from Lucas Milano really in this game.
Miami finally starting to ask questions, though. Their idea of this game tonight was to hold possession and also play out wide against Rhode Island. They're starting to do that. Knudsen asking for it in the opposite wing. Bonfilio tried a little give and go with Milano. Pass was intercepted. And now Rhode Island trying to push back the other way. Holstad. Some numbers. Chulu is there. Missed that ball completely, though. Back to his feet. Williams is asking for it. Crossing attempt. Matrano has it.
Need to be really careful if you are Miami FC that when in possession, you do not overcommit yourself going back the other way. Once we always see Clay Holstead running behind and really threaten in terms of a transitional moment. That's something that Rhode Island and Connell Smith are extremely good at with Quizera and Clay Holstead on either side of the field.
Holstead will take this. Came from Columbus Crew 2. I think his 19th start of the year for Rhode Island. Expansion club last year that found themselves in the USL Championship final. Quite a run for Connell Smith's team. High arcing ball, Bonfilio. It was a mess right there at the top of the 18. Somehow Blanco was able to draw a foul. A little puzzling, isn't that?
Rightly so, you see Mark Ibarra having a conversation with Christian Hernandez, our referee. Sebastian Blanco doesn't even try to play this ball. Jumps right into Ibarra. It should be a foul in favor of Rhode Island.
Sebastian Blanca got himself in an old school mosh pit. Pretty much what that was. And it works in his favor along with Miami. No tally yet. Each team with a couple of shots, but nothing on goal. Pretty much how we expected this game to roll out, right, Ricky? Tulu.
Again, that is Sebastian Blanco on the ball. Notice how deep he is. You do not need him 70 yards away from your attacking goal. You understand, as a number 10, you want to get touches, you want to go and search the game. But that can be Jonathan Ricketts, that can be Vasquez, and that can be Romero. Need a little bit more discipline from Gaston Modoni with your star players, getting them in the best pockets of space that they can.
Bonfiglio working hard, but to your point, Ricky, he's running 50 yards down the field.
That's when the frustration starts to come in, especially for attacking players, because once you don't see the ball as often as you would want, you go searching, you drop deeper, you try to get touches, you try to get yourself in a rhythm, and that's actually doing the opposite for your side. That's really making life easier for the defensive unit because everything is in front of them. And now it's a little bit more compact, it's a little bit more congested centrally. You're being paid to score goals, you're being paid to find assists, and the way that you do that is getting yourself in around that 18-yard box.
Blanco is going to take this corner. Sebastian, not a good delivery at all. That was rather poor. Blanco and Christian Vasquez had some words for each other in that corner. It's not something that Sebastian does in the regular. Bonfiglio, great positioning, sets this one up. An ill-timed service by Milano, goes way wide of the target by a good 20 feet. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. Go to USLChampionship.com for the latest and greatest complete USL TV listings. Vegas. With Miami extends some pressure. Knutson had it, couldn't settle it. Baccarat with not a poor delivery outside though. This ball finding its way through. Williams wanted to get it returned. And Brito, well executed on his side for Rhode Island.
Well, just notice this ball in from J.J. Williams. As you have the numerical advantage, your number one priority right now is to bring in Danko. Your timing is a little bit off, and notice how wide you send Joe Brito towards the attacking goal. That gives Danko the ability to come down, close the angle, and make his life a lot easier. You need better timing, you need better location of the ball in from J.J. Williams there.
One thing, if anything, for Rhode Island, here comes the corner. Holstead will take this. I beg your pardon, it'll just be from near the flag. Holstead. Long throw in, wobbling around, that shot blocked. Holstead with it, surveying with the chip, the header, good stop by Campisi. Miami has conceded a couple goals this year off of throw-ins.
Clay Holstead, you get quality in terms of his service, especially within his work rate. Good ball in. Baccarat doing a good job of playing in between defenders of Miami FC, and yet an easy save for Nico Campisi.
So Rhode Island, a couple questions, a couple of challenges. Miami not doing the same yet. 29th minute. End of this first half, we'll have stats and highlights, some news and notes. We'll also look at what happens tomorrow in USL Championship. A bunch of games that Miami was going to be forced to watch because of the implications for playoff positioning.
Just notice centrally right now, David, there is just no player for Miami FC in that central location. Everything is in the wide parts, everything is back. Now we see Christian Vasquez try to operate in between lines. But that is why Francisco Bonfiglio is struggling to find this game because there's just no one underneath him to get on the ball, to get on the half turn, play into him. It's just almost like it's a U shape for Miami when they are trying to build out.
Is that more of what Rhode Island is doing or what Miami's just not doing?
What Miami's not doing.
Yeah.
Right, it's about players taking the position to find success. Rhode Island has a double pivot with Ibarra, Hervo, and Brito in that central location. These teams are setting up exactly alike in terms of their tactics, so it's very 1v1 all over the field. But right now, Miami FC's positioning is just not it.
Williams here. JJ Williams tees one up. Great pace with that shot, but does not go on target.
Just something out of nothing here from JJ Williams. Right foot, left foot, no problem whatsoever. No pressure on the ball. Why not have a go? And he tags this thing. He hits it well. Does not miss by much. Not even a courtesy dive, from Campisi.
That was a missile. Man. But to your point, maybe Williams had earmarked that previous sequence with Holstad when Danko did not attack him. In anticipation of Miami's back line not approaching him at all, I let it rip. '31st minute. 7 combined shots and only 1 on target so far. Miami right back to work. Chip, it's not a good angle, and you see Bonfilio saying, why is that ball going there? Koke Vegas, who's not been tested just yet. While we have a minute, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for list Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Rhode Island had one of their more lopsided franchise moments last year against Miami FC, beating this club to the tune of 8-1. Team swept the season series last year against Miami before Miami picked up their first win all time here in 2025. This team not the same though from last year's Eastern Conference Championship victory over Lou City. It's a team that's still fundamentally sound defensively, but they have a lack of punch offensively. And for Miami, yes, they've improved from 2024, but 3 wins then to 5 wins now doesn't mean a whole lot, especially when they're in the same position of the Eastern Conference standings. Brito with the moment,
Great
gave
ball.
it up. Williams just past his right leg.
That is a really good idea from Brito. Trying to hit the reverse ball into No Fuson. Tulu gets pulled out of position. There's no rotation from Ricketts. Notice he can't rotate back across, and just notice that nice little window of space. Almost has Danko flat-footed, almost falling the center back is, trying to change his angle.
This is nearly a carbon copy of last week's match for Miami against Vegas. Nothing going on either side. And Miami, for large stretches, didn't play with a desperate brand of football, which is troubling because they've had moments this year where they've been able to put it into a high gear, but it doesn't feel like they have that capability right now.
Has to be the most frustrating part for Gaston Modoni, because you look at this Miami FC side over the course of this season, they've played some of the best footballs against the best teams. They took down Charleston Battery. They took down this Rhode Island side. They took down Loudoun United. So the quality is there. But then you have performances that you haven't won since June 18th. Right? So the ups are really high, the lows are really low. We're Gaston Madonia, a team that's just looking for consistency in their performance.
Rhode Island this year, 4 games under 500 with the 7 victories on the season. They have yet to return to their form from last year, but they have 2 things in their favor. One is they know how good they are defensively. They lock people down. So when you at least have something that's solidified within an organization, all you're looking is for those other pieces to wake up. The law of averages says that will happen for Rhode Island. I just hope it's sooner rather than later. This one's skirting around. Almost found a Holstad. Holstad and Brito were both looking on. Ball intended for Vasquez, never found him. Guizera tried to get it back. Fuson was looking for him. Disconnected. The weakness is for Rhode Island what they have up front. The strength is what they have in the back line. Takedown here from Bonfilio, and he knows it immediately. Bakaraku got taken out. Stepping up into the play, and nobody was really defending at all until Bonfilio tripped him up.
And the ability to speak with Connell Smith ahead of the Jägermeister semis with this Rhode Island side. And Bakaraku is a player that he was extremely high on in terms of his progression over the course of the year. Comfortable on the ball, can advance it with running. Perfect example that draws a foul. And a good opportunity for Rhode Island to really test this goal of Miami FC, Nico Campisi. Griffith yell over to Christian Hernandez saying how Bonfilio does not see yellow, and I tend to agree with him. It should be a booking for the striker.
Abbreviated wall here with Matrano and Knudsen and Blanco. Fuson bends this away. Sharp angle off the crossbar. It was loose. That will not count.
The importance of set pieces, especially on the road. Great ball in from Fuson. Frank Godarsha does everything right, heads it back across, kisses the top of this crossbar, and just chaos ensues.
I missed something there. Blow that play dead. And see that play was rolled offside.
It's a bit of a head scratcher as Christian Hernandez and his group call this goal back.
So a break for Miami. Blanco, middle of the pitch. Bonfilio out wide. Bonfilio with some real estate. Bonfilio's crossing attempt. Broken up nicely by Holstad. Bonfilio again. Matias Romero. Blanco looking for something. It's an easy stop for Coque Vegas. Blanco's not going to beat a keeper from that far out with that kind of velocity.
Hits it well. Blanco from this distance. The ball's moving almost as a knuckleball, and it's good no-nonsense goalkeeping from Coque Vegas. Notice the movement on this ball. Just to push it up and away from danger. Easy and comfortable save from a goalkeeper of his quality.
Vasquez carrying him around. See the reaction from Tulu. That was a good moment for him in Miami, but didn't find the mark. Fuson and Tula with a foot race, but Tula with a heads-up play back to Campisi in the 40th minute. Rhode Island perfectly content having this first half expire in a scoreless draw. Yes, of course, they need to accrue points, but they have not conceded anything to Miami at all. Matrano, Knutson, quick touch. But Milano wanted to get it back, and Matrano didn't see him. More to your point too, Ricky, just not a whole lot of Miami FC players in the middle of the pitch. Fuson with the intercept. Rhode Island holding it. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and much, much more. The #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats is here. 41st minute. Miami FC and Rhode Island in game number 2 of the regular season encounters. Miami right now tied for 11th position with Birmingham. Those two have a date in a few weeks. But in front of them, Tampa Bay, Indy 11, and then Rhode Island. Tampa Bay is the team that many people thought would wake up sooner or later and be able to recover in time. They were dreadful to start this year. With 7 wins, they only have 1 less win than the 6th seed in Detroit City. So they're not out of this by any stretch of the imagination.
Dominic Casciato's done a really good job to coming in.
And this season, yeah, it's your point. Yeah, you look at where he's at. The changes for Tampa Bay, they didn't have a home for a while.
Coming into this season and really implementing his identity on and off the ball. Made some big-time moves. Paul Marie, the outside back, coming over from the MLS side. San Jose Earthquake scored against Birmingham Legion, a team that, like you mentioned, was always not a matter of if, it was a matter of when they were starting to hit their stride.
I feel like that's a club that you'd have to worry about if you're Lou City, right? You're the #1 seed. You've been the class of the Eastern Conference or the USL Championship all year. I think that'd be a nightmare scenario for them to play against a Tampa Bay team that's been bottom of the barrel this year. No reason for any kind of hope. And then all of a sudden, with the talent pool that they have, they can go there and shock plenty of people.
I think something very similar as well, this Rhode Island side. A team that no one come playoff time wants to see, just with the quality and the pure talent, but also the experience of 2024. There's going to be some really interesting matchups coming together in this Eastern Conference playoff picture.
To your point, I think when you compare what Rhode Island is this year and last year, you think about Pittsburgh Riverhounds teams from years past. Not great offensively, but clean in the middle of the pitch, sound defensively, and sturdy in goal. Bonfili almost found his way towards target, loose for a minute. A little bit of miscommunication there as Coque Vegas came out for it, and this will result in a corner kick for Miami.
There'll be moments here for Coque Vegas and Bacharach, the 2 players of Rhode Island coming together. You need someone to take the initiative, but good on the defender, understanding that Coque Vegas a little bit slow off of his line, so just clear it and put it out for a corner kick.
Vasquez, Danko lets this one skirt by. Tulu for a moment. Rhode Island putting this thing back in the middle of the pitch. Arabo with a fine play defensively for Rhode Island. Keep an eye on our 4th official for how much stoppage time we'll have. My guess is we don't have any. Just a guess.
That's an educated guess.
Educated guess.
There you go.
First half has been pretty free-flowing. Not a lot of activity. but not a lot of stoppages either. Miami has 7 shots. Only one of them have been on target. Possession also favoring Miami, 65% to 35 for Rhode Island. Possession doesn't win you the game, though. Olstad was asking for it. Ball never found his left foot. This drive from well out, blocked. Ibarra, no. Knudsen, waffled away. Milano trying to turn the corner. Can't do it. Miami will have a throw-in, though.
Rhode Island has done a really good job at getting themselves into that final third, but once in the final third, really slow, undecisive, and that is what we've seen in 2025. The struggles to have that ruthless mentality to take a half of a chance and stick the ball into the back of the net. And that is going to be a massive talking point for Connell Smith.
Speaking of talking point, that's what the coaches will be doing right now, because this first half has come to a conclusion, and Ricky, not a whole lot to write home about.
Not a lot of attacking opportunities for either side. One shot on target apiece for Miami FC and Gaston Modoni. This next 45 minutes, you need to play direct. You need to be efficient. And for Connell Smith, if you can get that early goal in the opening 5 minutes, you can put this game to bed.
Miami out shooting Rhode Island 7-5, but both teams only have 1 shot on goal. Coming up next is the Macron halftime report. They're doing right now in South Florida. Miami FC and Rhode Island are in a scoreless draw.
The Magic City, sparked by Julia Tuttle's vision and Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. What was once swampland, transformed into a booming city. This is 1896.
No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
Back here at FIU Soccer Stadium with the famous Ricky Lopez Espin. I'm David Gascon. The Macron halftime report is scoreless through 45 minutes of play. Ricky and myself bringing all the action here as Miami FC trying to get themselves back on the winning track. Recent transactions, USL Championship. Ricky, you've got a lot of things going on around the league, and for Miami FC, they're not the only club, but you see plenty of teams trying to make some moves, gearing up for the postseason.
Players that Miami FC fans are going to be very familiar with. Bullock and Yoda goes to Loudoun United, and just like that, he is into the playoff picture. Wesley Leggett to Charleston. That's a massive one. Alex Mendez to the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but the Wesley Leggett to Charleston Battery. That attacking unit just continues to get stronger and stronger, trying to make a run in the playoffs.
Every team trying to do something in USL Championship at this time of the year, and for Miami FC, they're no different as well. take a look around the league, Ricky, as well, because there's plenty of things that are on tap for USL Championship. But take a look at the inside look with the transfers around the league.
When Nick Marcanic arrived at Charleston Battery in 2023, he had no idea what his future would hold. But after a 28-goal Golden Boot regular season in 2024, Marcanic was on the radar. A six-figure transfer to Castellón in Spain's second division. A financial win for USL. One of many overseen by Oliver Wyss, USL's head of global football development and sporting director.
All around the globe, guys are moving all directions.
It's perfect timing. Literally a few days ago, the global transfer summer window closed. New records, $9.76 billion spent. Alone $3 billion in England spent. So USL is a very small part of it, but obviously part of my goal is to make USL a bigger part of it.
You see these things come across your desk. What are the steps to take it from that phone call to a deal happening?
Well, I think it's, first and foremost, it's negotiating a good deal, a proper transfer that is obviously a transfer fee. There is a future sell-on, which is very important, which some of our players are getting now in our clubs in the return, and then it's good incentives. So structuring a proper transfer deal is the key to a successful return of investment on player development.
Give me some of the big ones you've seen and some of the quality that's out there overseas, for instance.
I think you have to do the two records that started with the Weinman brothers, right? One going to Benfica, Josh and Elijah going to the LA Galaxy for record-breaking fees. Josh over $1 million. But then we have follow-ups like Fidel Barajas, where there was also a secondary when you moved from Charleston to RSL and then into Chivas Guadalajara, which gave a big return. We have the likes of Correa Osandina, right, that went to Feyenoord and now at Casa Pia. But now we just had another recent very good one with Mamadou Cheng that went obviously from Hartford Athletic into went to Minnesota United. Good transfer fee, and I'm sure there will be secondary transfer fee that everyone will benefit off.
Who might be next? The rumor mills could churn for USL players at any time. And the next transfer window begins January 2026.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water unique? It's our commitment to making our bottles from at least 50% recycled plastic. In fact, Crystal Geyser is the only beverage company in the U.S. to exclusively own and operate 2 plastic recycling facilities. And you can help us make an impact too by always remembering to recycle your bottles. Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Simple, but not easy.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas. No one was born a hero. It's an everyday journey. There are no shortcuts, no days off, no perfect scenarios. Things won't always go the way you expect. But overcoming challenges is part of the game too. Your time is now. When passion runs through you, become your own hero.
back here at FIU Soccer Stadium, the Macron halftime report. Ricky Lopez-Espin, myself, David Gascon. And a scoreless draw right now with Miami and Rhode Island. Time to take a look at some news and notes around USL Championship. Ricky, Lou City, oh, they're doing some work.
Lou City has done a fantastic job with Danny Cruz continuing to push the envelope. 12 consecutive matches with a 2-0 win over Pittsburgh. Not an easy team to beat. And then you look at Hartford Athletic, they're one of, if not the most informed team of all of USL Championship. Cal Jennings continues to get better and better for Charleston Battery. We talked about Wesley Leggett, MD Myers, Ruga Ruben. That Charleston Battery attacking unit is fantastic and a big part of why they've been so good in the Eastern Conference.
Take a look now at the USL Championship schedule. That's on tap over the weekend as well. What jumps out at you the most?
Switchbacks, Sacramento, that is a massive one. You're looking at San Antonio that needs 3 points against Orange County. The Rowdies against North Carolina. And then a really interesting game with Lou City hosting Las Vegas Lights. Las Vegas Lights need 3 points, but can they do it at Lynn Family Stadium as we go into the deeper games? Phoenix Rising, Loudoun United, that is an interesting one. 2 different conferences coming together. The Oakland Roots, they need to start to figure things out underneath Benny Feilhaber. Can they grow off of that result? At Charleston Battery, they host the #1 team in the Western Conference, FC Tulsa.
El Paso and Charleston will be very fun tomorrow night. For Miami FC, this is how we close out 2025. The question is, will there be any postseason?
3 out of the next 4, or excuse me, 4 out of the next 5 for Miami FC at North Carolina, at Lynn Family Stadium, at Birmingham Legion, at Sacramento Republic. Gets harder and harder for Miami FC, so that is why this next 45 minutes is that much more important for Gaston Madoni to give this side a little bit of momentum as you're going through this tough stretch of games.
So you're telling me there's a chance. For Rhode Island, this is how they will wrap up shop here in 2025.
Not easy for Rhode Island as well. 3 of the next 5 on the road at New Mexico. That is a really place to end the season. The Lab, North Carolina is really good at home. You're welcoming Las Vegas Lights. So if you're Connor Smith, you're looking at that result as a 3 points. And then you welcome Tampa Bay Rowdies, who's going to be hovering around that playoff mark as well. So those 2 games in that middle part are going to be massive.
Fans, young and old, and everywhere in between, enjoying a great Friday night. Hope you are as well. We'll get you some stats and highlights right around the corner. Miami FC and Rhode Island in a scoreless draw.
The Magic City, sparked by Julia Tuttle's vision and Henry Flagler's railroad expansion. What was once swampland, transformed into a booming city. This is 1896.
Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
This portion of the broadcast is brought to you by Macron, become your own hero. Bon Bon Boom, suck at something. Baptist Health and Doral Kia. Drive for less, drive Doral. First half highlights of this thing, Ricky. Not a whole lot from Rhode Island and Miami. Rhode Island had some really good pace early on in possession.
Bends it away, not even a courtesy dive from Campisi, just tells you how close that was at finding that far post. And that's when you see Danko just trying to have a little bit of communication with his players in front of him. It's been disjointed, not connected for Miami FC in terms of their shape on and off the ball. So for Gaston Madoni, coming into this second half, it needs to be cleaner, it needs to be more decisive, and you need to have a little bit more bite going forward.
In the famous words of our great producer, Gabe Sosa, no subs in the second half. What does that mean to you? Does that mean both coaches are happy with what they're doing, or do they feel like this is as good as it'll get in terms of personnel that can get them a W?
You have to think within the next 15 minutes, if this thing stays the same, you're seeing Gaston Madoni, you're seeing Connor Smith dip into their bench and trying to provide a little bit of impact. Albert Deke was the player that can come on for Rhode Island and really give a little bit something. Atkinson as well, Grant Stillman within that back, and you're looking for Miami FC, Kevin Hoyos. He is the spark plug for Miami. If he can come on, expect some goals and expect a little bit of havoc in that final third.
And some happiness from you.
Always happiness when you see Hoyos.
The second half begins mercifully with Rhode Island trying to do something offensively because their inability to score this year has been profound. 17 goals on the year. If you're looking at Francisco Bonfilio, he's only 4 behind him. 13 on the campaign. Bonfilio trying to give a good chase to Cal Jennings and the rest of the USL Championship for the Golden Boot accolades at the year end. Top scorer in USL Championship will have those honors. If you're Gaston Madoni, what do you think you tell your club as they begin the second half? Yusan out wide, gave it away. Danko depossessing him.
Just need more discipline within that front three. Too many times Sebastian Blanco's going searching, Christian Vasquez is dropping a little bit deeper, and Bonfilio, and that is just keeping the game congested right in front of their defensive half. You need to be more expansive if you want to try to find the back of the net and really test this Rhode Island back line, because not once has there been a threat in behind.
So the second half gets underway. Gaston Madoni, Cano Smith. These head coaches trying to give fits to the upper echelon teams in the Eastern Conference, but first of all, they need to get in the postseason. Williams giving chase. Ricketts a bit tardy on that ball. Credit to J.J. Williams. He was only a handful of players that showed any real presence in the first half of scoring capabilities. Matrano, back to Romero. Miami FC in the first half, not a lot of action towards the target. They had 1 shot. 7 shots, 1 on target. Rhode Island not better. They only had 5. Ricketts trying to make a move using his size and his speed. The tag from Bonfilio was deflected on the way through, but this will be a corner kick for Miami FC.
And it starts with just a more of an aggressive position from Jonathan Ricketts on this right-hand side. You pin back this back line of Rhode Island, and that is when Bonfilio is at his best, when he can just try to make a half opportunity to get his shot on target.
Blanco will take this. Blanco, some backspin on it. Tulu was looking for it. Easy stop to make for Koke Vegas. And Danko in the middle of all this with J.J. Williams. Probably not a guy you want to mess with if you're Rhode Island. Danko can give it as good as he receives it.
A little bit of a kick out right here on Danko, and as a goalkeeper always trying to be protected, Koke Vegas doesn't take too kindly to it. J.J. Williams, Karifa Yao comes across. One thing that we know about Danko, there is no challenge he does not like. We'll go into every 50-50 duel, never back down. There's just no need to have that little bit of a kick out at that last action as Koke Vegas secures his ball.
A little flyby. It's a little homage to the great Tom Cruise. And while we have a moment, this portion of the broadcast brought to you by Doral Kia.
Doral Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
So Danko getting a little bit of a Q&A session with our lead official. Koke Vegas the same, but it's all good. Miami not going to have an extended break after tonight's contest. Their next game will be from a week from now at North Carolina. Nice maneuver out wide. Fuson was in the middle of the pitch. Brito had the idea of feeding it to him. Tulu heads it away, kept though by Rhode Island. See if that pressure is sustained. Becerra.
Good move.
Nice maneuver against Ricketts, but Danko and company were there to seal everything off in the middle of the pitch, and Matias Romero there to wipe it away.
Good 1v1 ability from Quezera, but even better recognition to come across from Romero. That is a responsibility as a single pivot. You have to provide coverage, especially when a wingback is isolated. Notice how quickly he comes into your picture. Great work from Romero.
First guy that got beat was still supported by 3 other players in the back line for Miami. It's an important note. This corner towards the back post. Matrano able to elevate. Blanco had more time with it and didn't like to settle it down. Blanco will just put this thing towards midfield. Miami has a tough journey in front of them after this. For the next 5 on the road to close out the season. Right now, on the outside of the playoff bubble, looking in, Rhode Island has 28 points, 6 in front of Miami. And Bonfiglio not happy with our lead official, gives him a booking. So a yellow card for Miami FC and Francisco Bonfiglio as Christian Hernandez throws up caution.
But it's the second time that we've seen Bonfiglio drop off and do his defensive duties. First in that first half, takes out Backrack. Now handful of Zach Ervo.
Bonfiglio not happy with it. A little finger waving and all. Bonfiglio has to be careful for any kind of verbal abuse. We've seen stranger things have happened, and Bonfiglio does have a red card on his record this year. It goes right to Campisi after a deflection. It's probably the most demonstrative we've seen Bonfiglio be to an official this year. Games into the campaign, and it'll wear on you. Rhode Island in the second half, coming into it anyway. Expected goals for 0.12. Miami FC 0.4. Those are not earthquakes, it's barely a tremor. Rhode Island can live with it though. Miami FC cannot. Running out of time and patience. Becerra being harassed by Christian Vasquez. Good pursuit by Christian. It's been good this year for Gaston Madoni. Leads the team with 5 assists. A somewhat productive year. Hasn't scored a goal yet in 24 matches, but all in all, he has not been a liability either. See Alejandro Matrano on the bench. Matrano goes to the bench and did not get an acknowledgement as to why. Puzzling, we'll find out. Guizera wanted to get it back. Erivo here. Guizera. Erivo. Looking for Guizera. Danko took out Fuson. Nothing being ruled against him, though. Both those players are now getting back to their feet, limping around, though. And now our lead official will blow this play dead. Danko's still down, grabbing that left ankle.
Reads this play fantastically. Danko here. The outstretched leg of Fuson comes across and catches it right on top of his left foot. Not going to feel good. We are Danko. But the frustration yet again for Rhode Island and their players is that Christian Hernandez blows his whistle once they are in an attacking opportunity. Good pocket here.
Fuson did not attack target. Why did it give that up and Burrito couldn't manage it?
No, Fuson needs to do a better job in the way that he receives that ball.
Out wide. Milano jamming on the brakes, waiting for some reinforcements. Bonfili was open for a minute. Bad ball, though, and it was a dead giveaway. It's indicative of how Miami has performed this year, with some moments capable of scoring a goal. Fuson, who gave it up, crossing attempt. Danko didn't manage it. Rhode Island will hold it. Guizera tries his luck this time. It was missed by one player from Miami. It looked to be Danko, or Knutson, I beg your pardon.
Just missed opportunity after missed opportunity for both of these sides. It's a good ball in from Guizera. J.J. Williams elects to go with his left boot. You need to go with your head there. Contort your body a little bit better so you can attack it just moments after. Bonfili makes a really good run toward that near post. Lucas Milano needs to just pick him out. The decision-making for both of these sides have been struggling in the final third.
Campisi has not been a busy man tonight for Miami SC. Will love to grab his second clean sheet in as many games. Milano misplayed it. Goes against him and Miami SC. Milano's just not had that kind of a year where you thought he'd have a major impact on Miami's offensive production. Why is that?
Had the ability to speak with Gaston Rodoni, and we asked him, is he a player that you need more production from Lucas Milano? And he was quick to answer, said 100%. You bring him, you bring Sebastian Blanco over into Miami FC and USL Championship, expecting goals, expecting assists, expecting leadership, and it's been everything but that. For Lucas Milano, a player that has all the tools, he's quick, the space that he picks up, really influential, but just the end product has been lacking, the decision-making, the ruthlessness, the mentality. And he's been a player that Gaston Madoni was very open and very vocal in our conversation, saying we just need plain out more out of Lucas Milano, and he struggled this season.
Erivo here. Glides this through. Nice play by Knutson to get in front of it. Burrito doesn't have a lot of real estate to operate from, but this will be a possession controlled back by Miami FC. Can't watch the match? Well, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. 15 combined shots for these two teams. 3 of them on target. 2 for Miami, 1 for Rhode Island. Miami holding the possession advantage at 60%. Bonfiglio will have to hustle. Does manage to keep it in though. At least we thought he did. And now they're going to say across the boundary. On the near side official with the flag up, beg your pardon. Nights like this, you have to find a way to score a goal. Match has not had a lot of free flow to it. There hasn't been any kind of exquisite or special offensive maneuvering. Fuson against Tulu. Fuson, Quazera next to each other. Tight quarters to operate in. Quazera, Tulu. And now Fuson. Back to work again. Good job by Mercado and Matias Romero not to give up an inch. Long ball here for Bonfiglio. He'll have to give chase against Coque Vegas.
That's exactly what we talked about, the quality or lack thereof for Miami FC. That ball needs to be put out in front of Bonfiglio because he does a good job at keeping himself onside in between both center backs. If you just take a little bit off it, have more of a technical feel, that is a 1v1 attacking opportunity for one of the most clinical attacking players in all of the USL Championship.
On the move here, Vasquez, Romero. Double team coming immediately. Nice heads up play by Holstad. Holstad wasted no time to pick his pocket. Two-thirds of the way through this thing. Miami's had one change with Mercado. Nothing yet for Rhode Island. Miami FC winless in their last 11 matches in USL Championship. Also dropped a couple other games, USL Championship. Was a member of the Jägermeister Cup this year with USL League One. Miami dropped their final 2 bouts in that said tournament. For Rhode Island, night and day difference on their splits, home and away. And for a team that does not drive home the point offensively, what they do on the road will be important from here on out. Because for all intents and purposes, unless they win out and get some tremendous help, they'll be opening up the playoffs if they do qualify it on the road. Nice job by Romero. Good position from Vasquez. Vasquez holding his footing. Vasquez could not get around the final line of defense. Fuson here on the move. Aravo looking for J.J. Williams, kept it on the deck. Danko rejected it. Ibarra. Quazera.
Just not enough movement for Rhode Island ahead of the ball.
Ibarra, the touch. Well, Tulu anticipated exactly what was going to happen. Fuson and company a bit miffed why Ibarra didn't go chase.
Just far too predictable in the attacking phase of play. I'm talking about predictable. Alan Gavianis is everything but that. Comes onto this field, a little bit of audacity in that final third as he will make way for Lucas Milano, who never really found the rhythm of this game, never really made his impact felt. As Alan Gavianis is going to come in, the ability to beat his marker 1v1, can he combine and can produce that little bit of magic that is lacking in this game. It's an attacking-minded sub for Gaston Modoni.
Gavilanes, 3 assists on the year, no goals yet. Has worked well up front with Francisco Bonfilio, but they just have not played with each other side by side throughout this year. It's been in spurts towards the tail end. Fuson, who gave it up. Brito shuffles it over on the right-hand side. Holstad tried to center it in that crossing attempt. It was blocked, and this would be a corner for Rhode Island. More changes for Rhode Island in a moment. Looks like Fuson will take this corner kick. Campisi looking on. But now it looks like it'll be Quezera. Quezera's turn to bend this in. Nice elevation from Danko. Fuson. Ill-advised from Quezera. It's remarkable how big the delta is between the top and the bottom of the East. More specifically, when you look at where Lou City is right now compared to Rhode Island, who's in the A spot, just above the playoff line. It's a difference in 29 points, Ricky. It's tremendous.
Just tells you how dominant Lou City has been this season. Danny Cruz continuing to motivate his side. Well, not having the ultimate goal of playing for a trophy at the end of the season. Fell short last year, but won the Players' Shield. Can they take that next step?
They're a well-oiled machine with 1 loss on the year. So peeled away. Skip, Erivo trying to maneuver, he does. J.J. Williams running right down the right-hand side, shuffles away Ricketts. Williams, good pivot taken down. No whistle, and now a delay. Our lead official points the spot. Danko looking on in disbelief, but that was a good second or two for a delay from our lead official. Ricky, need your thoughts.
This is all about J.J. Williams showing a little bit of everything. The pace of running behind Ricketts. Notice how he just shrugs him off. And now it comes down to his technical ability to use momentum to his favor, to bait Danko into leaving his feet. And all J.J. Williams is trying to do here is just get a little bit of contact and he's going to go down. And as a referee, you need to point to the spot. J.J. Williams from back to front. Fantastic action to give Rhode Island a penalty kick from 12 yards out.
Rhode Island has had a couple players this year take penalties. Maxi Rodriguez, who's converted on 2 penalties this year. That's been it. And so now a critical point in this junction for Miami SC. Campisi trying to hold on to a clean sheet, but all eyes will be on the attention of Rhode Island. J.J. Williams and company trying to get themselves on the board and with the advantage late in the second half. Campisi has faced 1 penalty with Miami so far this year. Conceded a goal. And Quezera will take this penalty right now for Rhode Island. He has not scored a goal this year, though. Trying to give Rhode Island the advantage here in the 68th minute. Quezera, slight hesitation, he puts it home. J.J. Williams sets it all up. Quezera with a little button on it. Rhode Island has the lead in Miami. It's 1-0.
Good second half for Rhode Island here. J.J. Williams draws the pen with a little bit of pace, a little bit of strength, and then also skill to bring in Danko to clear foul, clear contact. And this is a great pen from Quezera. Notice the way that he stutter steps, which baits Campisi and blanks him. closes up his hips at the last second, just ropes this thing into that top corner. No keeper on earth is stopping that. Good pen, good goal for Rhode Island as they take the lead here in South Florida.
First goal of the season for Guizera, the 68th minute, gives Rhode Island a much-needed advantage. This is their 18th goal of the year. But for a club that's been playing on the regular in 1-0 situations, this is just to the tune of what they've been used to.
Talk about the luxury that Connell Smith and the talent that he has to bring in Albert Dikwa, a player who was a former MVP, former Golden Boot winner, and Atkinson as well, with his work rate. So expect Rhode Island to continue to put pressure on Miami FC, trying to get their second. So decision making on the other side of the ball for the three center backs for the home side, understanding that pressure is going to be oncoming. You have to do a good job by bypassing it and playing a little bit more direct at gaining some real estate.
Atkinson in. Changes now for Connell Smith. But everything's set up after J.J. Williams drew that pen. Fred, though, as you mentioned, Ricky, not only to maneuver around Danko, who baited him, but also to shove off Jonathan Ricketts. That was ferocious.
This looked like a running back, the way that he just flew by a marker, the stiff arm.
Get you inject a little American football here.
Keep you on your toes. You never know what's coming.
I know. If it's not talking about your boat or your yacht, it's talking about American football.
Here we go. Here
Every
we go.
week catching me off guard. Unbelievable. Miami now in some trouble. If you're head coach Gaston Madoni, any levers you'd pull right now?
You're just looking at players to produce. Zarate can come on, Hoyos, Bent, Veron, players that are going to inject something that this game was missing. Watch out here.
Guizera with some real estate. Didn't hold it though, and Danko able to puncture it away. Cavalas came in a couple of minutes ago. Guizera, Holstad.
We can talk about tactics, we can talk about X and O's and form and confidence in players, but sometimes it's simple for a head coach. You're just asking for a player to make a play, someone to do something that can be the difference maker. Right now, through 71 minutes, this game has been even. Not a lot of attacking quality, not a lot of attacking opportunities, but J.J. Williams makes one good action, draws a foul, and now Rhode Island in the lead. So for Gaston Madoni, you need someone to produce something like that in the final third.
Tulu making his season debut with Miami here tonight. Good ball through, almost found Ricketts.
Clever here from Sebastian Blanco, just trying to wrong foot this back line of Rhode Island. Everyone thinks that he's going to pull the trigger, but sees a run from Ricketts developing, just a little bit heavy on the insertion. And good pickup from Coque Vegas off of his line.
I don't know what the odometer says tonight for Francisco Bonfilio, but this looks like the longest he's ever run in a match. He's been running from midfield on into the attacking third, a lot more than we've seen him at least the last couple of months.
And that is what you want from Gaston Madoni, the work rate to never waver. When you're not getting on the ball, when you are getting the ball, you keep that same standard in terms of the effort. But now can you give that effort what it deserves in terms of the service for Francisco Bonfilio, because that is something that a lot of the coaches around USL Championship are going to be aware of, that the work rate is never to be in question with the quality of player that he is.
Each team with only 4 corners on the night. Just not a lot of ability for Bonfilio to receive balls in relatively strong scoring positions. Busan and company approaching the attacking third to another good play.
Just want you to watch the movement of J.J. Williams and Atkinson here, left side of your screen. You need someone to slash across Tulu here, because if you do that, you pull him out of the game, and more importantly, you get on the end of that service. Both players peel to that far post, and that gives Tulu the ability just to clear that line.
Brandon Bent coming into this contest. Sebastian Blanco is removed. So a couple more changes. Christian Vasquez will exit. Kevin Hoyos is in. So Gaston Madonin continues to go to his bench. 74th minute, time is wasting away for Miami. Not only tonight, but their playoff hopes. Should they drop this game tonight, and they fall further behind not only Rhode Island but everybody else, you're looking at a nearly mathematical impossibility of making the postseason, because they will be 9 points behind Rhode Island, and they will only have 5 games left on the night. So a possible 15 points would be at stake, but of course you would need everybody else to just fall off the map. Quazera's night's over with. Sanchez checks in for him. Aldair Sanchez, one of the many changes tonight for Cano Smith. Atkinson, Albert Dequa have also arrived. Changes necessary for Cano Smith, or do you feel like with the lead, it's appropriate right now?
As Frank Nazarce went down with a little bit of an injury, Jupp comes in, and he's going to be a like-for-like sub, as well as Sanchez. Him and Quazera, both players have very similar qualities in terms of their work rate and skill set. 1v1, comfortable on the ball. That is not what you want to see if you are Cano Smith. As Krifa Yao goes down as well.
Yao's played well tonight. Had his time in the MLS and also in the Canadian Premier League, now in USL Championship. Bent was one of the changes tonight. Gavilanes the other. Kevin Hoyos, who just arrived as well. Bent trying to turn around the corner. This ball almost took a funky hop. Nearly a handball there. And Rhode Island going to switch the pitch, at least temporarily. Knudsen into the box, punched away by Koke Vegas. Tulu will act quickly on it. eFootball's here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball's free to play. Download it now.
Hey!
Hoyos. Good cross, but just nobody around for Miami.
Let's go, keep.
Koke Vegas has not been under siege tonight. 8 clean sheets on the year, trying to make it number 9. Seeing about an average amount of traffic. 9 shots towards him, 2 of them on target. But a relatively clean night at the office, just not a lot of harassment in front of him. 79th minute. Miami after this at North Carolina. Rhode Island after this takes on El Paso. Rhode Island, their eyes will get bigger as the tail end of the season comes across. Miami here tonight, and they have Las Vegas in a couple weeks. Las Vegas has had their fair share of scoring. Same with Miami, of course. El Paso will be a different animal. Chip, not enough on it. Pushed away. Williams almost found it. Danko dangerous, and he's grabbing his groin. He stopped a goal for sure, but my goodness, I don't know if he's sleeping well tonight.
And he's been so important, Danko has, for Miami FC within this back line. Gives him a little bit of bite, good on the ball, but his positioning, his leadership, that is a last-ditch defending effort. Notice how he just stretches out.
Oh.
And he immediately goes to that right groin area. Good to see him back on his own power, because if he does not make that play, JJ Williams is free in a 1v1 opportunity with Nico Campisi.
Brutal. Danko fortunate enough to be back to his toes. He's lucky he's limbered up. 81st minute. And football fans, USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches, expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Romero trying to hold things up. USL League One primed and ready for the postseason. USL Championship getting there. Only a couple teams have already qualified for the playoffs, Lou City and Charleston Battery. Nobody out west. Out east we stay though. This move from Atkinson did not provide any kind of offense. At this point in the year, if you took out Charleston and Lou City, who would be your dark horse to win it all this year?
I don't really know if they're a dark horse, but you look at New Mexico.
Really?
With Dennis Sanchez, they were #1 in the Western Conference for a lot.
It's going to be an immediate booking here.
Bacharach for a large majority of the season in the Western Conference, but they've dropped a little bit. Now sitting 4th. At one point, we're sitting 7th. Really hit a lull under Dennis Sanchez, but just the type of coach that he has, the ability to get the best out of his players. You have to look at New Mexico, Sacramento can make some noise as well. Then those top 4, I think you have. You're looking at the USL Championship winner within Charleston Battery, Lou City, Sacramento, and New Mexico.
You could say New Mexico's a dark horse. I mean, look at them in point-wise. Only 32 points. That's well off the pace of Charleston and Lou City. And the Western Conference has been a little bit of an eyesore. But Dennis Sanchez moving from Vegas to New Mexico this year. His club was fine last year in Sin City, but changing to the land of enchantment in New Mexico. Third minute. Nice move by Romero. Romero thinks about taking this shot. It was blocked on the way through. And grabbing it, so he can go into his bread basket is Koke Vegas. wide. Williams with the maneuver. Gave it up. Atkinson was the intended recipient. Atkinson now just could not hold. Ricketts. And Romero shoved down. Miami trying to pick up the pace. Long ball here.
No, he didn't.
Racing out. Campisi keeping this thing away.
Good opportunity from J.J. Williams. Trying to catch Nico Campisi off of his line. Fantastic recovery from the goalkeeper.
Boyles nearly found that ball. Mercado gets taken out by Holstad. Got another change coming up.
The audacity here from J.J. Williams, just trying to find himself on SportsCenter top 10 here. Hinted well, to be fair. Left foot again, really impressive. Ability to strike with both feet.
Goes right to Vegas. That would have been remarkable too, because not many people know this, but if that goal would have occurred, it would have been an ESPN top 10 moment. You would have made ESPN and Good Morning America in the same year. You had a hell of a year. The ESPYs as well. The list goes on.
I'm just trying to.
You are living your best life.
I'm trying to keep up with you.
You are living your best life.
I'm trying to keep up with you.
At the age of 25, you were living your best life.
I wish I was. I just turned 21. I wish.
Another harsh foul. We got a booking right now. Knutson, the guilty party. That does remind me, if you had attempted that shot, you also had a highlight. You scored from about midfield once in your career, right?
The dream days, yeah.
The dream days, yeah. From right around midfield or just beyond?
Just right around midfield.
The audacity to pull off a shot like that, and then not only to do it, but then score.
Something that you dream about.
And it lives in infamy too for a goalkeeper, right? It's stuck on YouTube and you can't delete it. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. Those are things that happen in a video game. Some guy scoring from 50, 60, 70 yards out. It's nasty. Quite the moment. I should search YouTube and see if there's any moments with you pulling up red cards. Spike studs up.
Won't find that.
No? No special moments like that?
No special moments, no.
88th minute here. Rhode Island getting a goal on a penalty from Quezera. J.J. Williams set it all up. That's been it. Miami barely even a pulse offensively. Gavalanis who goes down. We have another yellow card here. Gavalanis went down. Almerdikwa thought he was the guilty side and was, but no caution thrown his way. Definitely a few more stoppages in this half than in half number one. Gavalanis into the box. Bonfiglio was the intended recipient. Miami holding here. Danko's turn, not enough elevation on it. Romero holding it for Miami right now. '89th minute. Miami's night quickly coming to a close. Williams taken out. Romero. So we're in the 90th minute. We'll check and see our fourth official to see how much added time is awarded. Atkinson goes down, and Tulu, he's going to see caution for the first time this year, and there's the yellow.
A little bit of frustration there from Tulu. Atkinson has explosive pace, the change of his run right here after this touch. Trying to get away with it. Tulu just mistimes his challenge when leaving his feet, but he's been good. A player that Miami FC has missed immensely. Physical dominance, good on the ball, a true leader, and a lot of success and experience in USL Championship. Tulu is.
Holstad will take this free kick. Minutes of stoppage time. Holstad, not a great idea with that ball, but at least settled for Rhode Island. Deco, not the best idea, but he's going to get away with it here. Looked like an easy one off of Jonathan Ricketts or Romero, I beg your pardon. Somehow it stays with Rhode Island, or it stays with Miami FC. Okay, Vegas working on his 9th clean sheet of the year. He's only seen a couple of shots on target. Atkinson possessing, burning clock. Miami FC falling deeper and deeper into this hole. Just surprised in the lack of punch tonight from Miami. But a credit to Rhode Island because they have been fundamentally sound defensively and not a lot of mistakes either.
For Connell Smith, he needs to be really pleased with what he's seen from his side just in terms of their personality and the fight that has been shown and just a winner's mentality. Not having the best game through the run of play in terms of chance creation, dictating tempo, but yet they have found a way to grind out a result in a really difficult place to play. 2 wins on the bounce. This Rhode Island side can start to grow momentum just like we saw in 2024 and make some real noise in this playoff race.
Quezera converted the penalty. That's been pretty much everything for Rhode Island tonight. And as of now, it's held up just perfectly. Rhode Island wins this contest. They'll have 30 points and 8 victories on the year. And then more importantly, they'll only be 5 points back of Hartford, 6 of North Carolina right now, which is in 4th position, 7 points back of Loudoun United, which is in 3rd. So you're only talking about a couple more games to really put the heat on everybody else. And with the defense and goalkeeping that they have, that's definitely within reach.
Just the table is just so tight. In USL Championship, every single point matters, and you can jump and leapfrog a team if you have the ability to pick up 3 points. We're seeing that with Rhode Island.
Ten shots for Miami, 2 on target. 8 shots for Rhode Island, 3 on target. One mistake, And that put Miami in quicksand. It's been a common theme for them this year, though. A mistake converted by the opposition, and they can't get away with it. Conclusion of this match, we'll have our Cricket Wireless Man of the match. Knocked it down by Tulu, but he's called for the foul. Now it's just a matter of time for our lead official, Christian Hernandez, to blow the final whistle. At this point, if you're Koke Vegas, you want to put this thing on goal. It's exactly what he does pretty much, and we have reached full time in South Florida. For Cano Smith and Miami FC, they're in trouble. Cano Smith congratulates Casta Madoni, at least for his team's performance. Koke Vegas, another clean sheet, 9 of the year. He didn't need a whole lot of help, but he got one goal in front of him and it stood up. And for Rhode Island, 30 points. They're going to put some heat on a few teams in the Eastern Conference.
3 points that needed for Rhode Island, 3 points achieved, and they did it with just their personality, their grit, and the ability to grind out a result in a difficult place to play for Miami FC. Can they start to grow this momentum? That is going to be the next step for Cano Smith, as we see a little bit of coming together here. The players, the referee, Tulu, involved in it.
Take a look at our Cricket Wireless Man of the match. Tulu not happy about it, looking at Cano Smith. But he is our Cricket Wireless Man of the match. He played sound tonight in his debut for the home side.
Coming back from injury, I thought he was phenomenal. Tulu was within his positioning, comfortable on the ball, and just giving that Miami FC back line a little bit of bite. You just see how disappointed he is not to pick up 3 points. And that type of profile player, that type of personality and voice in locker room is what Miami FC has missed.
And for Miami FC, the best they can do now, mathematically speaking, is finish 6th in the Eastern Conference. And their days are numbered now. Post-game show right around the corner. Rhode Island wins it on the road, 1-0 over Miami.
Kia is loaded with over 500 new Kia models in stock now. Test drive a new 25 Kia Sportage today. Doral Kia. Drive for less. Drive Doral.
Put a bow on this thing. Rhode Island gets a goal, a penalty from Quazera, who converts against Nico Campisi and Miami FC. 1-0 is the final outcome. Ricky Lopez-Espin, myself, David Gascon. Rhode Island prevails in this thing. Ricky, full-time highlights. Wasn't a whole lot, but at least something from Rhode Island.
Not a lot going forward for either one of these sides, and no real goal-scoring opportunity. Olfsted was really good on the right-hand side, specifically in that first half for Rhode Island. Magrak doing a good job at playing in between both center backs, but not really testing Nico Campisi. It's an easy save for a player and a goalkeeper of his quality. Going back the other way, the second half really changed when Rhode Island was a little bit more aggressive in terms of their personality, in terms of their positioning. Quazera and JJ Williams, two players that had their fingerprints all over this game, almost getting on the end of it. J.J. Williams in this action, only action for Rhode Island, draws the pen. Quazero says, thank you very much. It's a run up right here to blank Campisi. And as he speeds up, closes up his hits at the last second, and notice he keeps his shoulders over the ball. Gives him the ability to wrap it around that far post. And no chance for Campisi. Going back the other way, not a lot of attacking opportunities, not a lot of attacking creativeness for Miami FC. Just too heavy here for Sebastian Blanco. Koke Vegas gets another clean sheet. Rhode Island gets another goose egg in how they concede, and they take a massive 3 points away from home.
So Rhode Island now has 30 points as we look at the real-time standings in the Eastern Conference. 2 teams have qualified, 6 more to go, but Miami, it's going to be hard-pressed to find themselves to get 15 points and find themselves in a playoff spot.
Especially how difficult their upcoming schedule is for Miami FC. A lot of the games are away from home, but if you are a Rhode Island fan, you see a little bit of separation between you and Indy at that playoff mark. Can you continue this momentum? For Indy 11, you're just trying to play catch-up now, as well as Tampa Bay Rowdies and Birmingham Legion.
So a big congratulations to Connor Smith and Rhode Island. They got things done in a challenging place to play, but for Miami FC, they've now lost 12 consecutive, they're winless in 12 consecutive games, and their faint playoff hopes are now on live support. We're at broadcast partner Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm David Gascon. Hope you enjoyed this one. Rhode Island wins it. They win it and split the season series against Miami FC. 1-0 is the final. Have a great weekend, everyone. So long.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.